Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. Boy, J.J. Surlis, VFL J.J. Surlis and his team do such a great job. There's a reason you see their signs all over town, including in my front yard. You see their stickers and businesses in the front doors and in the glass drive-throughs, businesses all over East Tennessee. Wherever you are across this part of the state, give these guys a call. They do tremendous work in terms of home entertainment systems, in terms of electronics, home automation, and of course, safety and security systems. SafeTsystems.com to learn more. All right. Want to get in touch with our VFLs. We do this segment. It's called The Huddle. It's always my favorite because I don't have to do anything. I just give it to the guys. And the trick is Sterling never got to go to the Swamp. Daniel played down there twice, lost twice, including one of those times when Tennessee had a better record at season's end. Will is the only guy over there that won at the Swamp, but he also had a loss down there. So I want to know, and I'm going to let them handle it, just a little bit more about what makes that place so tough. Will Overstreet, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, John. I mean, I think really the question is, right, why can a better team go down to some place like the Swamp and continuously lose, as we've done so many times? And how is that? Why is it the location that matters so much, Daniel?
Being the only two-time loser in the Swamp, I guess I'll start. Part of it, I think, we didn't have the players to make plays in that, and the game simply comes down to players making plays. And the other reason, like the year that we had the better record, that Florida team was actually really stout, but they went through a lot of injuries that year and finished the season on like a 6-game losing streak. So we caught them when Florida was playing at their best. If we would have played the same Florida team in November that we played in September, we would beat them by 2 or 3 scores.
And that's what I've always thought. It's early in the year. Also, you go down to Florida, it's a very different environment in the sense of, are you playing that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? It's humidity. I mean, it's every bit of going down to someplace like Miami in the NFL early in the season, which can be really tough on the guys. But I think it's always, does the coaching staff let it get in their head or become tight? Do you treat it like another game, or do you treat it like, oh gosh, we've struggled down here before? And if you don't break through that and you're always treating it and remembering the past, I think you do struggle to win at a place. But Sterl, do you have a experience from another team that you said maybe going someplace was hard?
Jordan Hare down in Auburn, baby. I mean, they get it rocking down there. I mean, one time they didn't even let us into the stadium to even get to the locker room. The fans did not let our bus down there. They jumped on the bus and they greeted Coach Major with a bunch of things that was special. But Jordan Hare down in Auburn has always been a tough place to play for me, and I'm glad that we didn't do too bad, but we got a tie out of that one time.
But was it difference in practice and how you prepared for the game? Was it the team? Was it the environment? What do you think made it harder?
Auburn was always known back then as the hardest hitting team in the SEC. I mean, they had a bunch of guys in that defense that, you didn't strap on your helmet, it was coming off. And so you always prepared for a real physical game against Auburn. And now, like you said, down in the Swamp, it's like that for Florida here as time's going on. And I tell you, I only been to the Swamp for practice. I went down for spring break with a couple of friends on the team, Moses Collins and Terrence Cleveland. And it is a different environment down there. You get the aura, but I never played there. But, I think we got an opportunity to win this week.
Yeah, John, so not a great answer to why the better team doesn't always win, but I think it's a combination of a lot of things. But back to you.
Okay, let me throw one more at you. Does it ever just get in your head? Do you think there's any possibility these guys are down there next week, they're struggling in the third quarter, and all of a sudden they think, we haven't won here in 20 years? Does that ever click into an athlete's mind?
I think it can. I think it can, because I think that's what happens to Kentucky when they come here, right? They just say, oh no, here it comes again. So I think it can when you play a team that, if you've had that experience where you've lost before and everything was going right, and then all of a sudden the wheels fall off, when something bad happens at times, you can have the mentality of, hey, this is going to happen again.
But I think in today's game, it's hard for that to happen because of the transfer portal, and we got a whole different situation. The guys playing, and, it's more of the fans and the coaches because they were around during those times. So I think the players, I'm not going to give them that excuse.
They shouldn't have the excuse.
Not for the players. I think that's a good excuse for coaches. I think coaches would feel that pressure more than the players will, because the players know they're only going to be there once or twice.
And now with the transfer portal, you got guys that don't even understand the intensity of the game.
Right.
Amazing.
All right, good job, guys. I appreciate it. And since Tennessee beat Florida and snapped the biggest streak, the overall streak last year here in Knoxville, I started to say hopefully they'll go in with confidence, but not too much confidence. I disagree with Daniel. You don't want too much confidence. But anyway, we'll talk more about who will win, and we'll make our predictions a little bit later. But when we come back, 4 questions. I told you last week that our Will They or Won't They segment will be more fun once we're past Austin Peay. This one's going to be fun. 4 interesting questions about the Tennessee-Florida game coming up next for our VFLs. Come on back on the Sports Source.